Yes, it's Friday night football among the palm trees on the central coast of New South Wales, and it is Pride celebration round across the competition, signifying the A-League's ongoing commitment to making football accessible and inclusive to all. They've met twice this season, with Wellington taking 4 points from the 6 available. And here is the 11 Nick Montgomery has chosen tonight to try and arrest that statistic. One change from the side that started in Perth and forced due to Nectar Triantis being away on international duty. But it's not the expected replacement of Dan Hall. Instead, Jacob Farrell will play as the left-sided centre-back. He hasn't started any of the Mariners' last 4 due to the arrival of James McGarry at left-back. Jason Cummings' double from the spot last week means he's now surpassed last season's goal total and is chasing down Daniel McBreen's seasonal record of 19 goals set in season 12-13. Cummings has 12 with 9 games to go. Now, a couple of changes for Wellington Phoenix, one enforced with Callan Elliott suspended for 5 yellow cards. So Tim Payne slides across to right back with Scott Wootton partnering Josh Laws in the centre. Sam Sutton makes his first start since November at left back as Lucas Maragis drops down to the bench. Oscar Zavada is 1 goal away from his stated target of 10 goals for the campaign. The Phoenix seasonal record is also 19 goals, set by Roy Krishna back in season 18-19. All eyes on referee Jack Morgan, just waiting for the signal to go. Wellington in their change strip. And round 18 of the Isuzu Ute A-League men is underway. Less than 10 games to go now of the regular season, and those 3 points becoming increasingly more valuable as the weeks go along. Daniel McBreen.
Well, they are, Simon. Good evening, everybody. I was just talking off air to Grace Gill about how it seems that every week we say second place is up for grabs, and every week they all stumble at the same time, and when one team wins, the other ones win. I think one thing we could say for sure that will happen tonight is an exciting match, and I wouldn't be afraid to put my house on plenty of goals.
Well, Mariners matches this season have featured 60 in total. That's well over 3 a game. And they're looking to press high early on and keep the Knicks pegged back. No doubt they watched that game against Western United. Wellington were sensational, to be fair, from the first whistle to the last. But they're under pressure in the opening stages here, inside their own penalty area, but Tim Payne gets them out of that little spot of bother, and they'll thread it through into that little pocket of space for Bozidar Kraev, who had Josh Nisbet trailing him. Lovely feat by Jan Sass, and Wellington building nicely down the right, and they're going to earn the game's first corner well. A little snapshot, perhaps, of what to expect from both sides.
Well, both Bozidar Kraev and Jan Sass look very confident, don't they? Linking up through that midfield area. Both had wonderful games last week. And interesting, we heard Thea Harris say in the pre-match that they had spoken about the slow starts, and Nick Montgomery said, no, I think we've been good.
If he's not, somebody will tell us.
We'll find out quickly, won't we?
Sliding challenge by Caltech, perfectly timed. Nisbet. Turned back by Silvera. And Caltech. And Kalolo. Ballard has space for McGarry on the left. Cummings might not need it, Jason Cummings. And just in the nick of time, the challenge came in from David Ball, I think. Lovely little threaded ball through. What a turn that was. And David Ball chasing back.
Well, I'm not too sure how much he knew about that turn. He got a little lucky, worked out well, and all of a sudden he saw the bright lights of the goal in front of him. If it wasn't for David Ball's intervention, we could have seen another Jason Cummings quality finish.
Lovely Lovely ball by Silvera, slung in towards McGarry. First Mariners goal for James McGarry against his old club. What a start for Nick Montgomery's team. And it was all set up by a glorious release initially by Sammy Silvera. The cross was good too, as was the finish.
Well, we spoke about the slow starts of the Mariners in matches this season. Harvey Norman replay shows, not this time, it was a wonderful ball into the back post. Storm Roux comes back onto that left foot, has a look up, and his opposite fullback, McGarry, with a tidy finish at the back post, tucks it away. And that's a class finish. Nothing Ollie Sail could do about that. Plays it into the ground, into the far post.
Rufer finding Bozidar Kraev. And the Mariners wanted the flag, which didn't come. In fact, I think it did belatedly. And of course, the linesmen are now told, keep your flag down if there's any doubt. And I reckon he's on, you know.
Yeah, I think he's on as well.
Yeah, the flag did go up ultimately. Just a foul, though. Silvera attacking Payne on the outside, and it was an awkward one for Ollie Sail. Didn't carry it over the byline for a corner.
Well, it's a great run from Silvera, but the ball, Josh Nisbet, was fantastic. It's a tight space, waited perfectly in front of Silvera to take the ball in his stride.
Nisbet with the no-look pass for Nkololo. Drop of the shoulder, provides the room for the cross. It drops here for Nisbet. Well, you could see what he was trying to do there, trying to bend it into that top corner. Didn't have an awful lot of time.
It was neat play again from the Mariners down this right-hand side. Great feet from Benny Nkololo. As the ball comes back out, that's exactly where you want your midfielder to be, just lurking around the edge of the box to pick up any pieces.
Lovely touch and turn from Sass, and the cross is a dangerous one. It's Oscar Zabada, surely off the line. Incredible by Storm Roux to deny Jan Sass the equaliser. And now the Mariners look to spring forward at the other end. Well, he's had a big part to play, Storm Roux, in this first half for the Mariners. Assist for the goal for James McGarry, and now one off the line at the other end.
Oh, that's just fantastic desperation, isn't it? Look for all money that Wellington were going to draw level. Storm Roux stuck a leg out at full stretch, denying them the goal. You see here, there's a nice ball in for David Ball, and they all rather got in each other's way, and Savada couldn't quite get it down, lays it back, and look at that. Storm Roux covering his keeper beautifully on the goal line. At full stretch, gets his left toes onto it. Fantastic defending. Really seemed too bothered.
Yeah, there certainly weren't too many appeals. Kololo's been good in the air tonight. Great flick on Marco Tullio. And Ollie Sail, I think it comes straight off the head. Any part of the body will do. Great work by the goalkeeper. But Nkololo has been excellent in the air. Yep. Straight off the melon. Bang.
It's great goalkeeping. Every fibre in your body there is telling you to turn your head and get out the way.
Could open up here for the Knicks. It's Oscar Zavada trying to place it across Danny Vukovic. Comfortable in the end for the goalkeeper, but they're starting to create chances, Wellington.
Well, this is having shades of Adelaide, Western Sydney, isn't it? In the last 5 minutes, we've seen opportunities at both ends.
Well, we rarely leave disappointed these days from a match at Central Coast Stadium.
I'm so accustomed to these two teams as well, going end-to-end, free-flowing football.
Oh, Sutton, a slip. Couldn't regain his footing. Cummings says, I'll have it. Squares it up. Stormrow! He's been everywhere in this first half, the fullback.
Well, we see more chances in the last 4 minutes than we did in the previous 40. And this is what we're used to, as I was saying, from these two.
Just the single minute to be added. Jugarkovic out for Sutton. Now David Ball. Jugarkovic. Could the Knicks find an equaliser before the break? Jugarkovic! He was looking to curl it into that bottom corner. Not quite enough on it.
It was the right idea, wasn't it? It looked like it was on, just couldn't quite get the connection.
Is there time for one last Wellington opportunity? Zavada. Slip inside the box, no suggestion of a foul. How much longer will Jack Morgan add on? Jugarkovic bumped over by Tullio. And that is half-time. Well, a madcap end to that opening stanza with chances at both ends. It's been a first half that's been a tale of the two fullbacks. James McGarry, who left Wellington Phoenix during the off-season with the opening goal against his former club after 12 minutes. The provider was Stormrow, who was then the hero for the Mariners at the other end, clearing off the line to deny Wellington the equaliser. Ollie Saylor's made a couple of big saves. All in all, it's a game that's lived up to its billing in Gosford. Terrific stuff, hopefully more to come. At the break though, it's Central Coast Mariners 1, Wellington Phoenix 0. Wellington with a little bit of work to do, and we know Danny McBreen, but in the second half, this is when the Mariners really find their mojo. 23 goals they've scored this season in the second half of matches. Is there a way back for the Knicks?
Well, of course there is. Quality team with quality players. We heard Tale saying to his team in the first half, we're out of possession to step up as a back line to close down the spaces, which the Mariners were probably finding a little bit too much of it through that midfield area. And they just have to have a little bit of courage to play through the Central Coast press, which has been very high and very consistent.
Ian Kalolo committing the first foul of the second half. He's catching Sam Sutton. And the Phoenix have scored in every single A-League match so far this season. Zavada losing out to McGarry. Silvera is trying to lift it into that vacant space for the run of Nkololo. Josh Laws with the anticipation. Sass, who's also been a bit quiet tonight. Did have that one effort cleared off the line in the first half though by Roux. Good scrapping by Silvera. Sent on his way by Tullio, lifts it in towards Cummins. It was tantalising, wasn't it, for the Mariners' top goal scorer?
Well, he's done wonderfully well there, Sam Silvera, and as that ball was played in, it looked like he was going to go straight to the feet of Jason Cummings, but the bend on it, it just kept going away and away and away, almost turned into a shot into the far corner.
Jugarkovic, Rufer, threaded ball, this is better from the Knicks, it's Kraev, and he blazes high and wide. Just a little chink of light perhaps for Wellington Phoenix.
Yeah, much better play, positioning, David Ball with the release. The angle was a little wide, so he tries to go with power, Kraev. He knows he's got a tight angle, he's going to have to get it past Danny Vukovic. Quite get the radar on there.
Good win in the air by Laws. And Caltech was lunging in. Oh, it's a straight red card! Brian Kaltak sent off for the 3rd time this season. Utterly extraordinary. It was a lunge for the ball. He certainly caught his man. Jack Morgan made the big call, and the Mariners are down to 10, and that could completely change the complexion of this contest now.
Well, he certainly went in with lots of intent. See here, goes in, and actually ball in his foot, lands on the ball, doesn't it?
Well, it does, but it also follows through into David Ball.
See,
I don't know whether it's a red card.
No,
that
is, sorry.
It's a foul, but you know, you can assess that as being dangerous play and reckless. I can see why he's given it. There's going to be a caution issued to somebody on the Mariners bench, Nick Montgomery, for his part in the protests. It's a big call. See the quality of the set piece. It's not bad. Headed over. David Ball wants a corner. He's going to be disappointed. Tim Payne's delivery was into the right area. He thought the final touch was off Dan Hall. Squared up by Hall for Farrell. Gary, have a go here. Well, why not? He got the ball rolling, of course, for the Mariners as early as the 12th minute. And his goal remains the difference. It's careless by Wootton. He's got to be strong, and Maresh is stronger. This could win it for the Mariners. Ollie Sail makes the save just. Oh, it almost went in slow motion past that left-hand upright. But he just about got enough on it, Ollie Sail.
Well, Harvey Norman replay shows the final moments of that, but it was a sloppy giveaway in midfield, or playing into midfield, and then Maresh shows great strength, doesn't really collect it well, but Ollie Sail misjudging as well, almost a comedy of errors, and it almost squeaks in that far post.
Are those 4 consecutive road trips started to take their toll? Look at this from Theoharis, still going. Says to McGarry, get out of my way. Silvera. Ballards, Roux, they're queuing up. McGarry, what a save, Ollie Sail, to keep Wellington in the game. Well, if his first one was fortuitous, the second one was pure instinct. Excellent goalkeeping.
Oh, that's a fantastic save. Great ball lost again from Roux to his other fullback again, and McGarry thought for sure he got his second for the night.
Almost 3 minutes and added time has been played in Gosford. Wellington still pushing. Tim Payne around Theoharis. Vukovic can't prevent the corner. Kraev looking to make his move. Back post might fall for Zavada! It's crept in from Oscar Zavada in the 4th minute of stoppage time. And Wellington have maybe salvaged a point right at the death, thanks to their Polish striker, whose pre-season target was double figures, and he's just ticked that box with his 10th of the campaign.
Well, the Harvey Norman replay, look at the movement there from Zavada. Plenty of players going for the initial ball. He comes around the back unguarded, puts himself in between the ball and the goal, hoping for anything to come down. Real striker's instinct there. And the finish to boot, a little back heel from Zavada. There's typical striker's instinct. Realised he wasn't going to be there for the first opportunity.
That's going to be a card as well. Oh, now Moresh squaring up to Wootton. It's a booking for Wootton and it's a red for Moresh. This game ending in chaos. Central Coast down to 9. A little flashpoint between defender and striker. Moresh doesn't think there was too much in it. But he had a little nibble back at Scott Wootton, who was booked for his parts in that little fracas.
Well, it's frustration, I think, from Moresh. He's been fouled the last 3 or 4 times, but there's no need for this.
Well, he jabs his finger into the face of Scott Wootton. You can't overturn that. Silly reaction from Moresh. And it's ending in acrimony. Now what else is happening? Nick Montgomery sent to the stands. Goodness me, we might have nobody left on the Mariners team or bench. They're certainly not going to have too many players available for their next game away at the Wanderers on the 4th of March, and they won't have their coach on the bench either. Nick Montgomery already booked, now sent to the stands, gets his marching orders alongside Moresh, and before them Brian Kaltak, and Jack Morgan is right in the eye of the storm here in Gosford. And the Knicks, who found the going really tough tonight, maybe with a chance to win it. Tim Payne's corner, out by Ballard, check of the watch from the referee. And that is full time. Wow. Absolutely extraordinary. The bare bones of this game. And then it ends in a 1-1 draw. A second draw in 3 meetings between these two this season. But really, that's just half the story. Referee Jack Morgan dismissed 2 Mariners players, Brian Kaltak and then Moresh, after Oscar Zavada's stoppage time goal had drawn Wellington Phoenix level. James McGarry with the early strike for the Central Coast Mariners. The Knicks clearly tired on the road after 4 matches in 3 different states. And in the end, 1-1 is the outcome of an extraordinary 90-plus minutes at the Industry Group Stadium. Central Coast Mariners won, Wellington Phoenix won, and the boos are reserved for the match officials.